great day. Hope you're all staying hey and healthy, and I request you all to be safe in this pandemic. So let us now go into the topic that we wanted to discuss. Is nothing but called as blockchain. Before me telling you what actually blockchain is, this is going to be the future. Okay, so trust me, in coming 5 to 10 years, everything will be into the blockchain domain or blockchain technology. Okay, I just wanted to show you a animated video to make you correlate or relate things between the real world and technology, how this blockchain technology also. So, just watch this video. Okay. Could you all relate something with the technology here? Okay. So if you know something about blockchain, it is again very easy for you to correlate these things with a few very important terms and technology, I mean terms that they use in blockchain. Okay, let me once again play and narrate the scenario with blockchain technology. Okay, so now there are 4 friends who wanted to play cricket. So they have decided to play cricket and they wanted a umpire for them. So in here, as there are only 4 players, they wanted a third party to umpire them. And they wanted the third party to be a centralized one, and that is going to be this kid. So when they wanted to make this kid umpire, they wanted to give him something. So they have given ice cream, and the task of this particular boy is to check for wicket, bowling and run out. So he is actually the centralized one. So when they started playing, any of the team would bribe him with something. Okay, so that is also possible. So he is given an ice cream then, and for both the team depends on him, which means he is actually centralized one. Now there are 2 cases that is possible. One, if that particular kid is being called by his mother, he cannot do the umpiring. So the centralized system is lost there. They cannot depend anything. Second possibility, the one who bats bribes him. Okay, and if he is out, the boy will not take that as wicket. Instead, he would be considered as run out. So there are possibilities here. As it is a centralized system, it depends on only one particular boy. These 2 cases would possibly happen. Okay, either you try to tamper, or the data is actually removed. So in order to avoid such cases for present databases or other technology, what is a blockchain? Okay, with a good example, I will start with what blockchain is. Okay, let us assume you wanted to buy a pair of sunglasses, or you wanted to buy a costly watch. Okay, you would start searching for it, you would buy, but there are n number of watches or sunglasses, n pairs of sunglasses or watches which is very similar to your watch, or a fake product of your watch, or the first copy of your sunglasses, or the watch that you wanted to buy is available bulk in the market. Okay, so what happens there? The integrity or the authenticity is actually missed. Okay, suppose if in case if you wanted to, you are a music lover. Okay, a musician, I mean, invented a new music. Okay, he has a copyright for it. What you would do, you would take n copies of that particular music and you will start deploying everywhere. Now what happens? The authenticity, the integrity is actually missed there. So what will actually happen is you will not be able to have a proper integrity is maintained there. Okay, so in order to that, you in order to solve such kind of problems, you go for a technology called as blockchain technology, where blockchain technology is also a database, but it is different from the normal database. Okay, in normal database, what will actually happen is, normal database, it is a centralized system and anybody can try to tamper your data or modify your data. But in case of blockchain, it is a distributed database. You cannot tamper the data or you cannot modify your data, as it is being maintained or completely maintained by a special software, and each and every data is being maintained with proper security, with encryption and decryption or cryptography is embedded to it, so that you cannot modify data, you cannot change the data. So a proper authenticity of your original data is maintained in case of blockchain. Now, a small definition about blockchain. A blockchain is a distributed ledger. So what is this ledger? Suppose if any of your family members or your friends working for a bank, or when you visit a bank, this ledger is a term that you would be obviously hearing very often. What this ledger is? Ledger is a fixed record book wherein every transaction, everything that you are doing with the bank is being updated there. So here blockchain is also a distributed ledger which is constantly growing, and those records are maintained permanently for all the transactions that you happen to do in blockchain. And the more surprisingly is, everything is secured cryptographically, and they also maintain a chronological order, and it is immutable. That is the main definition that is given for a blockchain. Okay, so now this a blockchain, distributed database, a normal database, everything is there. Okay, now we will see why this blockchain is so important. Okay, so the value of blockchain lies with three main key points. That is, one, we call it as value for money or value for a cryptocurrency. Now next is trust that that everybody are having or everybody can have. Okay, reliability. Now what this value in terms of, if you see value of value in terms of blockchain, see when you wanted to make some bank transactions, okay, what you should do, what you are actually doing, you are having a third party between you and the, let us take, I wanted to buy a chocolate from a shop. I wanted to buy, and the shopkeeper wants to sell you. So there should be a third party between you and the shopkeeper to transfer money. Okay, so in this pandemic situation, what is actually happening? You use either Google Pay or you use any the other third party between you and your bank. So let us take GPay is there, you have a Paytm, you have Amazon, you have Freecharge, everything is there. So they are third parties. You should be able to, you are actually depending on them for transaction of your money or whatever. Okay, so this blockchain need not have any third party interferences between you and the seller. You can directly use a digital currency to transmit from you and the person who is selling you, or the person whom you want to buy from. Okay, so next, trust is, as it is a distributed ledger, the possibilities of tampering is actually very less, and almost to a 98% it is very less. You cannot tamper it, as you have minors in between, as everything is time stamped, and you have hash functions in order to make transactions. Okay, so here I have used something called as hashing, timestamp and all. Let me discuss this in detail little further. Okay, so trust is what most important here. So I told you something called as hash here, no? So it is again a technological term. For you to have a deeper understanding, let us assume our fingerprint. Fingerprint is assume it is an example. Fingerprint is an example wherein it will be unique for every individual. So only when you have when you are passing the security, you will be able to make transactions and all. So that kind of trust is there in case of blockchain. Now, what is reliable? As it is a distributed ledger or it is a distributed network, this is available and reliable to everyone who uses this blockchain. Okay, I cannot make copies of your own transactions. So every individual block will have a hash function, wherein this hash function will have timestamp, which is nothing but transaction details everywhere on about every other blocks also. So only with the help of those kind of miners, time stamping and what you call it as hashing, this blockchain's value is highly used recently. Okay, or it will be used in future also. So now, okay, so how does this blockchain work? Working of blockchain is actually very interesting. So it, as I told you, we should have a timestamp, we should have a hashing functions, we should have miners. Only with the help of these things this blockchain works. Okay, so let us take, I wanted to send money, or I wanted to send some wallet, something from my wallet to the other person. Now what will I do? I will request for a transaction in the blocks. Okay, so block will have, okay, let me be the user. When I wanted to send something, transact something, I have to request in the block. So a block is nothing but transaction that will get created. When I request for a block, the request will start creating a block. That block will have all the information about what I wanted to transfer, when I wanted to transfer, where I wanted to transfer from, what is actually I am transferring. Everything will be stored in that particular block. Okay, so block is created with all the required time stamping. Okay, that particular time stamping is called as hashing. So once that particular hash is created, it is linked with the previous block, it is linked with the other next block, everywhere it is linked. Okay, it is being broadcasted. Okay, whoever wanted to accept the transaction, you can actually accept for is what is being broadcasted. Okay, the block is broadcasted to all the nodes of the network when in a particular network. Okay, so what, it is not stopped with that. When that is being broadcasted, all other nodes which is available for accepting the transaction will be checked by the miners. Miners are actually one who actually verifies the transactions. Okay, so as it is blockchain, we use a term called as miners. As let us say, I take an example. If there is a gold mine, people when they start employing themselves in gold mines, we call it as gold miners. Okay, so here also, as it is a technology, we use a term called as miners to verify the transactions. Now the task of miners we will see in the further slides. Okay, so once the broadcasting is done, miners will start validating the nodes, and once the validation is done, it is added to the block. Okay, so now that now I get added into the block and I start getting transaction verified, and I may execute it, I may send what transaction, I can receive the transaction, or everything is possible. So only because of this reason we say blockchain is very secure. Okay, so so like as I told you, this is not the raw money that we have. Okay, the transaction is will happen in terms of cryptocurrency. Now, currency, we know we have a hard cash, we call it as the currency. Okay, cryptocurrency is something which is in the form of encryption. Okay, so cryptocurrency is a type of digital asset which can be used for exchanging the value between the parties. Okay, the currencies have a particular value. Similarly, a cryptocurrency will also have a value. Okay, so why this is called as cryptocurrencies? As cryptography is used in this transaction, we have named it as cryptocurrency, as it is as it has an encryption, as it has a private key for it, for transferring of the transaction from one end to the other end. Some of the examples of cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first one. Only because of application of, only because of Bitcoin, this blockchain technology came into existence in the recent days. Okay, so the first application of Bitcoin, blockchain is actually Bitcoin, and then we have something called as Litecoin, Zcash, Monero. We have something called as digital cash and all. We will see about this also. Okay, so now what is a Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a kind of digital asset. Okay, it is not a raw money. It is something which can be transferred from one party to the other party without any third party interferences. The value of Bitcoin in recent days is totally high. It sells for millions in recent days. Okay. So a Bitcoin is a type of digital asset which is used for buying something, which is used for selling something, which can also be used for transferring between two parties through internet, but without any third party interferences. Okay, so this is also one very important best known cryptocurrency, but you say this is worldwide. But it is still not recommended in our India. Okay, so let's see who invented this Bitcoin. Okay, this was invented by a scientist called as Satoshi Nakamoto. He started this was let us say this is published in a white paper, or Satoshi Nakamoto has published a white paper in October 31st, 2008. Still we don't know who this Satoshi Nakamoto is. We still don't know whether he is a single person or he is a group of person. All that is still not clear. But what he has, he started this peer-to-peer electronic cash system with the help of Bitcoin. Okay, he has generated a Bitcoin and he started selling the Bitcoins without any third party interferences or without any banking's help. He started buying something out of this Bitcoin and all such things. Okay, so Bitcoin is again an electronic cash cryptocurrency. This is the first application that is being designed for blockchain technology. The other way we could say is it is an electronic cash, and because of Bitcoin, blockchain technology is booming in the recent days. Okay, so now how does this Bitcoin work? So Bitcoin works without any third party interferences. Generally, miners create Bitcoins by using some mathematical functions, by solving so many algorithms, all such things. Okay, so why this is accepted is it is being created by miners, and they also mine everywhere, or they also check for authorize for it with the help of solving many cryptographic algorithms. Okay, so it is a digital cash or digital currency which has a higher value now. People in US started, rather than using the normal cash, they started using this kind of Bitcoin in order to avoid the third party interferences and all. Okay, so as it is and also you could see Bitcoin uses a blockchain technology across the world. Okay, and also across the decentralized network, so that this will be safely, securely this will help them to safely and securely transact their data. Okay, what is the role of miners? So generally miners are the one who works on different algorithms, who approve the transaction that is actually happening. We individuals, or you students, or you faculties, if you are interested in learning about blockchain, you can also be a good miner in order to earn a lot. Or see, what the task of miners are nothing but you have to process and confirm the transaction by solving n number of mathematical problems, by also solving many algorithms in order to be a miner. Okay, so role of miner is miners generally keep solving many mathematical problems, come up with the good security algorithms, or they come up with more cryptographic algorithms to make blockchain immutable, to make blockchain more secure, to make blockchain cryptographically saved, all such things. Okay, so miners are the one who actually mines for the data and keeps our data safe in the distributed network. Okay, so now what are the components of Bitcoin? So Bitcoin can be generated, or Bitcoin was actually generated with 4 important components. One, software. As it is a blockchain technology, this is a special software which is running its data to make it safe and secure. Okay, what is this cryptography? To make our software and data secure, we have some private keys embedded to it. We also have this cryptography. Many cryptographic algorithms get successful in this cryptographic analysis, and to make our software and hardware compatible to each other. Okay, so hardware is a system, a computer is what is required for your making this Bitcoin work, or to make this Bitcoin creation, or for a Bitcoin creation. Gaming theory is actually, as it is kind of a game. Okay, people started taking this as currency now, but in the year of 2000, in 1999 or 2000 till 2008, until this Bitcoin came into too much existence, this was actually a gaming theory. Okay, so gaming theory, or many algorithms, many mathematical problems and solutions are solved in order to create a Bitcoin, or in order to create many applications under this blockchain category. Okay, now what is digital token? So digital token is nothing but, you know what is token is. Okay, so token, let us take example, I was given a token to buy 1 cent of land, but I was actually not given 1 cent of land. I was just given a token. That token is called as digital token. Okay, but it is not a cash. Okay, it is just an authentication that I receive to buy 1 cent of particular land. Okay, this is an example or anomaly that I am giving you, but this is in terms of cryptocurrency. One token is actually 1 cent. Okay, so when we say a digital token, let us take example of, okay, I wanted to send mail. Okay, I am attaching a photography of mine to you. What I have my original photo, but what I sent you is actually the copy of it. Okay, so when you or when I send some image from me to through a WhatsApp, that is again a sending copies of it. Okay, so sending copies of this is not possible in case of this particular blockchain. Instead, everything that I sent on a blockchain is like a token. Okay, so a photo of mine is kept here. Same photo of mine can be kept in every other block also, wherein it is not going to be the copy, it is the original thing. Okay, so some of the examples of digital token are, the first digital token uses something called as audio coin. Audio coin is generally used in music industry in order to buy any musics. Okay, so rather than transferring money, they transfer audio coins. Golem is a computing power, so lending computer to someone for some period of time, and for lending them my own computer, I buy golem from them, okay, rather than buying money. Now what is VeChain? VeChain is helping us to track the supply chain of the blockchain and all. Something called as CryptoKitties is nothing but digital cats that is being employed for transferring and receiving of pet animals, okay. Steemit is something which is used for paper publishing, content publishers and all. Once a paper or a document is being published, then that is being rewarded with Steemit rather than giving money and all, okay. So now the applications you could see on the screen is supply chain management, real estate management. This can also be employed in certificates of authenticity, car sales, insurance, notary, humanitarian aid, and digital voting. These are the areas where a blockchain can be deployed in, okay. So okay, the languages that can be used to build a blockchain is, it can be a database, which is SQL, Solidity, JavaScripts can be used, C++, C#, Python, Ruby and Go can also be used in building the blockchain, okay. So limitations is blockchain are at its early stage, so people are not aware of this technology much, and there are only limited number of technical talents or limited miners are there, okay. So it is also immutable. No reverse modification is there. Once it is done, it is deployed. If you have to get approved, this has to satisfy the consensus, okay. So key management is as it is purely a cryptographical oriented or crypto systems is used. If you forget the private key, then nothing can be done, okay. It's scalable and it's again time to process. It takes time to process. Now you could see there is a video that is given to you. You can watch the video. This is one software which is called as Novum, and this is using Novum software. See, there are a number of blocks, okay. When too much blocks come into picture, what happened? We will not be able to accommodate everything. So here, in order to make this even possible, there is one software called as Novum, which is encrypting this entry of every data. The wallet is also validated, and it has to satisfy the consensus. If the degree of acceptance is less, then that is rejected. If the degree of acceptance is more, then the transaction becomes successful, and it goes on, okay. So it can also be used in any field. It can be used in medical field. It can be used in cross-chain integration. It can be used in real estates. It can be used in land registry, everything, okay. So this is one software that is recently used, or this is most widely used in the current scenario. So hope I was able to convince you with by making you understand what a blockchain is. Thank you so much.